13 million views, and I believe it got me at a million subscribers. Like, think about that. That's crazy. I was like one of the most subbed channels on YouTube that week. Like, if you thought shorts is good for converting like subs, like I gained like 100K in 1 hour on a live stream.
Oh,
but
wow.
at my peak, I believe like 11,000 is my most, or maybe 12,000 was our most concurrent.
Holy shit.
30 million views on TV. I literally did not know this.
What's your RPM?
It's for me being in general entertainment with a young audience. Yes.
Most viewed short, 173 million views. How did you think of that video?
Yeah.
0 to 8 million subs in 3 years is insane. And we're gonna find out how exactly you did it. First, when you see this, what do you think?
Very exponential. Yeah, it's crazy. This is like nothing for like nearly a year.
Exactly. If we look at it, basically 0 to 1,000 subscribers, it took you about 9 months. So if we look at the videos, let's say the first one, why did you first start with that short?
Yeah, so at the time I was studying finance in college, recently graduated, but I was very passionate and excited about personal finance, crypto, stocks. So I decided, oh, let me make a YouTube channel talking about this stuff. And that's why my first video was how to mine Bitcoin on any computer, since I was doing it at the time.
Okay, you were mining Bitcoin at the time. How old were you when you started YouTube?
I think I was 15, 16.
When you started, what did people think of you around you when you started YouTube?
I kept it a secret from everyone. The only people that knew were my mom and my dad, but they didn't think much about it. They just thought it was like a hobby. They didn't really care much about it.
And at the time, did you already want to be full-time YouTuber, or what was your plan?
What's interesting is I wasn't actually trying to become a full-time YouTuber. It's funny because for a whole year straight, I would tell myself, I'm not going to do YouTube full-time. Even if it were to come to the case where the channel blew up, I'm not going to do this full-time. Like, I was just doing it purely as a hobby for fun, and I naturally liked optimizing the videos and trying to get views, but the intention wasn't even to make money. It's just crazy. I just wanted to document my personal journey and growth, especially in the financial aspect.
So in 2022, your first 1K sub, how many views were you getting per shorts at the time?
Like 100 to 1,000 views.
And you were posting how frequently?
As much as I could. So I was posting nearly every day.
Okay, nearly every day.
Nearly every day.
And what kept you motivated at that time?
Yeah, it was honestly very difficult. There was a period, maybe like 2 months, where I just quit and decided I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
But then I heard about Creator Now,
Yeah.
which is like a community with other creators.
That's where we met?
Yes, that's where we met. And that kept me motivated. So I joined, and it reminded me why I was doing this in the first place. I started to do this for fun, and then I started getting discouraged because it was getting no views. And then when I joined the community, I remembered how fun it actually was. So that kept me motivated.
And so do you remember what was your first video to blow up at the beginning?
My first video, it was actually not a short.
Oh, okay.
My first video, it's not on, I unlisted it actually.
Okay.
The first video that ever blew up for me was a video where I took Andrew Tate's course.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
that
like
got...
when he was blowing up, I guess?
Yes, exactly. So social hacking. I did a video where I took Andrew Tate's course. I was one of the first people to do it. And I was also, I think, the first girl to take the course too, which made it help to get a lot of views. But it was a long form, but it didn't get a lot of views because of the long form itself. It got a lot of views because I made a short, which is unlisted as well, short promoting the long form.
Ooh, and that worked? The shorts bringing to long form?
Oh my goodness, it did. So originally the long form, it was still a 1 of 10, an outlier for me. It probably, my long forms at the time were getting like 100 views, like no more than 100. That one got probably like 10K on its own. But then I made a short, which ended up getting 10 million views. And that made the long form get over 600,000 views in like a month.
So that was your first blow up. And then after, we see here you got 4.8 million views. First, how did you think about that idea?
This was still during the period where I just wanted to do a bunch of like make videos for fun. So I wanted to try a bunch of different things and different methods to make money, like just for my own personal gain, I guess. So I wanted to do, like, I did drop shipping because I wanted to make money drop shipping, and I was like, oh, I might as well like double dip and make a video about it. So that was like my whole channel. How honestly it was for like two years. It was just me doing things I genuinely wanted to do and make videos on it.
Awesome. And you would say at the time CTAs to long form worked. Would
Yes.
you say nowadays it still works?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
It definitely still works.
All right, 2022, you got 1K. Now from 1K to 10K subs, what's going on? How are you optimizing your content?
Yeah, so around that time, I was actually, when I first started, I was primarily focused on a long form, like around that Andrew Tate drop shipping era. But I noticed that my long form videos would naturally be like 3 minutes long, which is like not very long. And then that's when it hit me, and I realized during the 1,000 to 10,000 period, wait, my quote unquote long forms are 3 minutes. I might as well, if I'm naturally like, look at this. Like, my first video is 3 minutes. The next one was 2 minutes 20. It's like, look at, like, why are all my long forms like less than 3 minutes? And it made me realize that I'm naturally like geared towards shorter content. So let me just double down on YouTube Shorts. And when I decided that, like, the second I decided that, I like committed to daily videos. And when I committed to daily videos, I had my first like real like short that outside of the Andrew Tate one, because I unlisted it, so it like almost didn't exist anymore. So then I had my second first short to blow up during that daily period, and it was a video where I social hacked off of Ryan Trahan. $1 coffee from McDonald's, 17 million views. Yeah, and that's how I got to that 10K mark.
Okay, so July 2022. Didn't do anything the first 30 days, but then the blowout goes to 7 million in 100 days. Okay, that's crazy. Does this happen often?
Not often, but every once in a while it does happen.
Okay, so if we look at the retention rate, so APV is 110% on 17 seconds. How do you think about that, by the way, retention?
It can be tricky because it doesn't say the full picture, and there's a lot of different factors that come into play. Like, but generally, if a video is less than 30 seconds, I try to get it at least over 100%.
Okay.
But no matter what, it cannot be lower than 95%. Like on a short video. Okay. The goal is to get it as close to 100% as possible and get viewers to rewatch.
You would say to anyone watching, if you want to blow up on shorts, if it's shorter than 30 seconds, it has to be minimum 95, basically 100%.
It literally needs
minimum 100%.
If it's under 30 seconds and it's not over 100%, like
it's not gonna blow up.
It's probably not gonna blow up.
At 45 seconds,
it's not like 95 plus. Even so, at 45, I try to go for 100. I mean, I have videos that, you know, it slowly dilutes as it gets more views, but I have videos like within the first million views, even if it's 60 seconds, it's at 100%.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Like, the goal is with YouTube Shorts, I mean, with any video, you want 100% of it to be watched. So that's the goal. But it all comes back to the hook. Because if you don't hook that many people, your retention is just not gonna, like, what retention do you even have if no one even watches the video?
Let's look at this hook then.
Does Ryan Trahan actually get 99-cent coffee from McDonald's? I mean, the menu says it's $3.
When you say hook, what do you consider a hook? Is it the first frame? Is it the first second? What do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought about it I kind of put it all together, to be honest. I mean, like, the first frame is super important. Like, it's actually crazy how important it is, and you can't stress it enough. It's like, you know how everyone always says, like, title and thumbnail, like, is the most important thing, because if no one clicks the video, no one watches it. Like, that's the same thing with hooks, but people don't realize that. Like, your first frame is your thumbnail, and whatever you say is, like, your title, basically. So yeah, I would say, like, within the first 3 seconds, but ideally the first frame is good. And then my first frame here isn't as good, but what I'm saying is,
I mean, I thought it was smart. Like, you start with Ryan Trahan, so you hook everyone who knows him, basically, and then you say,
does Ryan Trahan actually get 99-cent coffee from McDonald's? I mean,
how did you craft that?
Yeah, so one of the best hooks are typically questions, because curiosity gap. Oh, that means I need to watch this video. But then it also tells you what to expect by the end of the video. So, does Ryan Trahan actually get 99-cent coffee from McDonald's? Oh, wait, does he? Like, I need to watch this video to find out. And the next thing I say is a statement to further emphasize why this is, like, a question that we need to know the answer to, which is, the menu says it's $3. Wait a second, so how does he get this coffee for $1? So it's like curiosity gap, but it's like why it's actually even more interesting than you thought like to begin with.
Is that how you think in general for all hooks? Do you have like criterias that you need to have in your hook?
Oh, yes.
Oh, tell us more.
Yes. Okay, so the first thing is it needs to be visual. Like the visual matters so much more than what you're saying in the hook. So the first thing that I do is I start with visual action.
Action.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe if we pull up my newer videos, because I think I do a better job on those. So let me see. 22 million views, strawberry yogurt patty.
How do you make this? You're gonna get strawberry.
It probably isn't even the best example, but it's just like an example because it doesn't always need to be crazy. My most viewed video is me breaking a hole in the wall, but we can't always break a hole in the wall. But here it's just something satisfying or showing that we're already in the video. Like the goal with a hook, and this is like part of like the next thing I do is you want the video to have already started. So it's like you don't want a video. Oh my goodness, like people are starting to catch on to these like hooky hooks where it's like, watch this video if you want to learn how to drive, and then the video starts. Like, no, just start the video with you already driving. Like, okay, so to learn how to drive, you're gonna turn on the whatever. I don't know how to drive, so I don't know what the first thing that you would do is. But yeah, another good example. This was a cold open. My cold opens are my favorite. Where is it? Oh, who ate my strawberries? This is another one. This has 24 million views.
But every time I buy them, they disappeared the next day.
So the hook started with just like me eating a bunch of stuff, just because it's like it's visually shocking. Action is already happening. Let's go to another example. There's same with the cook a steak with the toaster. It didn't get that many views because the video is boring. But like you notice how the video already started. Another great example. I have a better example. Can you cook faster than fast food? This is my best.
Can you cook faster than fast food? Can I have a burger? Yeah. Can you put cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes?
Like you want to already start with we're in the story. Like I'm not gonna start the video like how most people do. It's like I'm gonna start in front of the building and say, can you cook faster than fast food? Okay, now let me get inside of the car and then no, just start already. I'm already at the window. The guy's listening to me. It's funny because like we cut it out, but the guy's like, wait, what'd you say? Are you filming a video? Like what's going on? Like that's how you want it to be.
Do you mostly do questions as your hook?
I mostly do questions, but you don't always have to do questions. I guess they could be statements that suggest there's a question or something that we have to figure out. But the goal with the hook, I feel like we focused a lot on the visuals and like the action. That's like number 1 and 2. But also the viewer needs to not only be hooked, but also have a reason to watch until the end.
Okay, so that's how you get those 100% retention rate. So if we go back to where we are, let's say the how to get $3 burrito at Chipotle, right?
Yeah, I think that helped me get to go from 10 to 100, from what I remember, I believe.
Yeah, this is August 2022 is here basically. So this is the beginning from 2K to, oh my God.
Yeah, it was definitely the burrito video that... Chipotle has $3 burritos? Apparently, you can order a taco for $3 and get the same amount of food as a burrito. But is it legit? I had to try it out for myself. So I ordered one taco with chicken.
So why do you think this one crushed?
Oh my goodness, so many reasons. For one, it was an already outlier idea. So I saw...
From your channel or others?
Yeah, I saw others making the video. I don't remember who I saw do it first, but I just recall them not having that many views or subscribers. But when they did the burrito video, it got a lot of views. Not like this many, but I knew it was an outlier for them. So I don't fully remember because I don't remember who I got it from. But like what I mean by outliers, they probably were averaging like 100 views per short, and then they got like 10K on a short. So it's like, wait, oh my goodness, there's something here. So 1, it was an outlier idea. 2, it was a question. It's like, we gotta figure this out for ourselves. But also, there's so many elements to this. This actually not only went viral. This is one of my only videos that went viral on every single platform. Like it has over 10 million views on every single platform. Okay. And it's because it's super shareable. And it's shareable because it's a hack that people can try themselves. But also, this is another hack as well, like another tip, is the fact that videos that have like steps or things that you need to do tend to be rewatched because people need to refer back to it or rewatch it to see how to do the hack.
Okay, so people want to do it, they go do it, but then they got to rewatch it a few times to know exactly to remember how to do it.
Or even, so they probably see the video and then let's say they want to get Chipotle next week. They're going back to my channel. So YouTube's like, wait a second, they're going back to watch this video and they watched it all the way through. It's like such an easy hack.
Okay, that's smart. And from there, okay, so
A lot.
You blew up 30K subs. Then you see that worked. Then what goes through your mind? Because now you're in the period between 10,000 subs to 100K subs. What's going on? Are you still one person team?
Yeah, still one person. I've been one person that thus far. What's interesting is around this time I actually went to Vid Summit.
Ooh,
so it was like the first ever time like I met like actual creators and like other people who were doing this. Like I was part of a community with like other small creators, but like the first time I'm meeting these big creators, like for context, I post this video like a week later. I go there, and one of the first YouTubers I meet was legitimately like Mr. Beast. So like to me, I'm like, wait, what? Like
Wow.
what is going on?
Actually, how was that? So how did you meet Mr. Beast?
Oh, he was just walking in the hall.
What did you guys talk about?
Oh no, I didn't want to seem like a fan.
Oh, okay.
So I just like, oh, what's up? Fist bump and walked away. You know,
But that's how it starts.
You gotta be nonchalant.
Then
Yeah.
the next time you meet him, you...
Exactly. We just have to be nonchalant. But it was interesting because I met like Ryan Shurahan, Airac, and a couple other like big creators. And that was when I realized, wait, this could actually be a full-time thing. And this is when it shifted. This is when my mentality went from I'm going to do things that like I'm trying in my real personal life and making a video about it to let me try to go viral. Let me try this to go full-time. That's what was going through my head after this.
And so in that era, how much were you making?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Like nothing.
Still nothing. Okay.
But I will say at the time, and this is something I will suggest. Well, the channel was making nothing. However, I had side hustles using the skill sets that I have built. So at the time, I was making like maybe like $2,000 to $5,000 a month, like which is pretty good for that age. Just like making videos for small businesses to help them grow. And I was also editing at this time, like still probably during this time, I was editing for a couple of other creators. But the main thing I was doing was definitely like making ads for small businesses.
You were editing ads for small businesses, and that was bringing in 2 to 5K, which allowed you to do this while I guess going to school.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. All while going to school. Yes.
Oh my
Full-time
God.
student making these videos. And I was also filming some videos for the business, like, well, not even just filming, doing the whole like writing the scripts, filming, and editing, but for the most part mainly editing. That consumes most of the time.
That was your era, 10K to 100K subs, right?
Yes.
Now we look at the 100K to 1 million. Let's see what's going on there. So March 2023, you upload this, gets 40 million views.
Garage sales are known for selling trash, but I'm gonna prove that wrong by making money. So I went to my nearest garage sale and went through a bunch of clothes where I found...
Talk to us. How did you think about that idea?
Yeah, so this was still in the era, despite like wanting to go full-time on YouTube. I was still in the era where I wanted to make videos on things I genuinely wanted to do, because I knew that would naturally find people, because that's the type of content that people want to watch. Things that like, it makes sense. People want to watch things that they want to do but would never do themselves because it's like too much work, such as this video, which honestly was a lot of work. So yeah, that's how I came up with it. I just always wanted to do garage sailing, and I knew no one would do it. I also loved Gary Vee's garage sale videos.
True.
So I took inspiration from that as well.
Side hustle.
And it was proven.
I mean, yeah, big outlier for him in general.
Yeah.
You say it was a lot of work. What was a lot of work?
I mean, going to the garage sales was about like 3 hours of my day, but what was a lot of work was actually trying to sell the items, which I realized like you can't even tell that I actually sold the items, but like listing it on eBay or like trying to figure it out, and then we have to pack it and ship it to the people. That was what, because it's a side hustle in itself. So I'm doing a side hustle and doing YouTube full time while doing the other side hustle of making video, because I was still editing at the time.
Okay.
Like
you were
while
still
making a
doing
video
everything
about
there.
it. Yeah.
700,000 subs, and you're still editing everything yourself.
Yep. Still doing everything myself.
How's your research at that time, now that it's been 2 years and growing fast? How are you doing your research for ideas?
Yeah, so back then, like probably like 1 million, and even before that was even like the research was even more intense than it is now.
Okay.
Because it's much harder to get views when you don't have a big enough audience, of course. So it was just me like going through YouTube all day looking for outliers, because at the time there weren't really tools for it.
Yes.
Like so yeah, I would just be scrolling, and what I would do is I would just like look at the like I would be on shorts and I would just look at the like button and I'd keep scrolling until I find the videos that have over 1 million likes on it, because that suggests it has for the most part at least 10 million views. So I would just keep scrolling and then I would save those to a playlist, and then at the end then I would brainstorm ideas around those.
Yeah,
very manual.
It was rough. Now you guys got 1 of 10.
Quick break from the pod to tell you about 1of10.com, a powerful tool to help you grow faster on YouTube. Check this out. Using 1of10, this creator took inspiration from this viral idea and combined it with this thumbnail concept. And the result? Her most viewed video with more than 2 million views. By focusing on the right idea, title, and thumbnail, you're setting your videos up to go viral. 1of10 includes a suite of tools specifically designed to highlight overperforming videos and spark inspiration to find your next viral idea in just minutes. And the best part? With code POD50, you'll get 50% off for life. That means just one video with 25,000 views can cover an entire year's cost. So if you want to grow your channel faster, head over to 1of10.com. Now back to the pod.
So
yeah.
And okay, so how long would you take time to research an idea?
Yeah, so I mean, coming up with the idea felt like forever, because at the time, like around this specific era, like this garage sale era, I was only making like 1 to 2 shorts a week, and half of the week would be me looking for like all these viral ideas, which is like so tough, or trying to like pre-produce it, because sometimes you have what you think is a viral idea, then you can't even come up with a good hook, or you can't come up with a good stories, and then it's like, okay, well, maybe it's not a good idea. So I guess it all kind of happened at the same, like all those processes would happen at the same time. So as far as scripting, I would pre-script or outline the videos, but sometimes you wouldn't always know what's going to happen, like in the garage sale video, but I would know like kind of how I want it to progress and maybe introduce a character here. So that's how I thought about it. But there's some videos where I fully, which it is possible to fully script it if it's like a skit.
Because the thing is, in long form, title, thumbnail, idea is basically 80-85% success of a video, right? But in shorts, what would you say is the top criterias in order of importance to blow up a short?
Most definitely the hook. It has to be the hook.
Okay.
There's probably what you say after the hook. No, the hook is everything, because like, believe it or not, the hook is what gets people to watch until the end. Like, the hook gets people to watch until the end more than what the content is. Because if you have a hook that is like a crazy question that people need to know the answer to, like, let's just say you have a video where you say, I saw a real alien. I took a picture. I'm gonna actually show, like, I'm being for real. I'm gonna show you the real picture of the alien at the end of the video. I could be sitting in this chair doing nothing for like a whole 60 seconds. You're gonna sit until to see the alien,
true.
Which is why the hook matters more than anything. But the next thing I would say is honestly how you end the video, because the way you end the video on YouTube Shorts or short form content in general, unlike a long form where the video ends and like that's the end, it's not the end, it loops.
Yeah.
So whatever you do at the end, you have to be intentional, knowing that it's going to loop, and you want it to flow with what the hook is going to be.
Do you still do that, the loop?
Yeah, so
trick, let's say?
I do a loop sometimes, but it doesn't always need to be a hook. It's also just like being intentional about what you can say that will introduce a new question that people need to watch the video again to see the answer. So if you say one question in the hook, and then at the end you say, but we actually, in this experiment, we actually also unintentionally answered this. Then people are like, wait a second, let me rewatch it to see that thing. Mm-hmm. So that's like another way to think about it. There's lots of different things that you could do to the end that are super important for rewatchability, like twists, or just like funny jokes.
You recently did a TED Talk, right?
Yes.
Around storytelling.
Yeah.
How do you think about storytelling? So viewers can learn from it.
There's a lot of things, but the simplest thing is change and progression. Progression is, you know what? Yeah, I forgot to mention that when you asked one of the important things, but one of the most important things for storytelling, I think, is progression. Okay. So, I mean, what is a story if a character is stagnant? You know, it's like, true. It's not an engaging story. You want to constantly be getting new pieces of information, and storytelling is just cause and effect. This happens, so the character has to do this, but then this happens, so the character has to do that. And that's what keeps people engaged. But also, to that progression, it can't just be an infinite amount of progression. You need to have an idea of where this progression is going, which is why in the TED Talk I mentioned like having a mechanism, which I like to incorporate in a lot of my new videos now, which is like the viewer knowing how close we are to getting to the end. So in the TED Talk example, I was making a burger and I started the video saying, oh, we're going to put cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. And then now the viewer knows, oh, the burger is going to be done after we add all those 3 things.
Yeah.
So it's like progression, but also knowing where this progression is leading and how close we are to the video being over.
And that you always think about for basically any shorts you're doing. Progression has to be present.
Oh, there needs to be progression. Otherwise, it's boring. Yeah.
Now we're coming to Stole and Returned Christmas.
I'm surprising my family with their favorite lost things. But they don't know I've been stealing their stuff for the past year, so it wasn't exactly lost.
This is my mom's favorite cookbook. You'll see it back in...
So I'm curious here a loop was impossible, right?
Yeah. But we did a cold open.
Yet it still did 83 million views. Why do you think it crushed?
Well, for one, going back to the outlier, idea is everything. Because hook and idea is the same thing. So it was an outlier, but what excited me about this idea is no one did it on YouTube. It was actually on Extreme Cheapskates, the show.
What is that?
There's a show called Extreme Cheapskates.
Okay.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so I was taking, during one period, I was taking a lot of my ideas from YouTube, but as I was growing, it was interesting because during this time, I was averaging like 10 million views or getting at least 10 million views. And like, now it's like, okay, wait, now it's kind of getting hard to find outliers that are like...
More than 10 million
yeah,
views. Okay.
like more than what I'm trying to get.
Okay.
How so then I thought to myself, let me look at traditional media and see what's working there because that's proven, and let me bring it onto YouTube since it's proven, but it's still fresh and new. And one of the shows that I took inspiration from, like my channel during this time, was Extreme Cheapskates. A lot of the things I did in my channel was like based off of that show. So in one of the episodes, someone did exactly this, and I basically recreated what they did.
Ooh,
but
okay.
the show was made like several years ago. That episode was probably in like maybe 2010.
Okay.
So I literally recreated what she did. Like no joke.
That episode was super popular
yes,
for some reason?
Or... It was super popular. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's funny.
Okay.
It's just it's a funny concept. But I think people really resonated this because of the story. But also, you also need to know who your audience and your avatar is. That's like super important. That's like, as you grow your audience, in the beginning, like the most important thing is like finding outlier ideas. But then as you grow and you have an audience, the most important thing is finding outlier ideas that resonate with your audience. Yeah. And because you can have like for example, or actually I can't think of something. It depends. Like, what's something cool? Like, let's say I built a water-powered car. That's like, oh, that's so cool. That's impressive. That would flop on my channel. Like, it would flop bad. Just because, like, let's say, like, the first 100,000 views that are going to see it are going to be my audience of, like, middle school kids.
Right.
So then it's like, then they're going to give it horrible retention, horrible engagement, and the video is going to flop. But it's not because it's a bad video or a bad idea. It's because it just didn't work with my audience. But this works perfectly with them because my audience doesn't have money to like get their family a gift. So this is something that they actually would want to do and have actually done based on the comments, at least.
Oh, I'm actually surprised. It's 34% TV.
It is. That is actually crazy. I think it's because it has a story to it.
Do you have a big percentage that's watch your shorts on TV now?
I literally did not know this. It's actually crazy. But I think a lot of people are starting to watch shorts on TV, though. Weirdly enough. My grandma loves watching shorts on TV. So she's scrolling through shorts on her TV and then Instagram Reels on her phone.
TV is 21% of your last 28 days. That's crazy.
Wow. That is crazy.
I know they've been pushing TV, but I didn't know that much for shorts.
Yeah, that's a lot of views for shorts. 30 million views on TV, like on shorts on TV.
And that you've never seen? You
I've
didn't
never
know?
seen. I really did not know this.
That may be something for you. Because maybe the RPM is better as well and everything.
Yeah, that is interesting. But they have a shorts feed on TV now. So you can like swipe on TV.
Yeah, I did not know that. Damn.
Really? Yeah, it is interesting.
So we're now in that era of between 1 million and 2 million. You said something interesting about broader audience, because at the beginning it was mostly side hustle stuff, right?
Yes.
Then what was your audience after that?
Yeah, so when I started my channel, I was doing the finance side hustle stuff, which is like naturally like high school students, but I wanted to go a bit broader, so I was trying to capture younger, since I know there's more younger people on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't want to deviate too much from what I was already doing, so I decided to pivot into saving money, or like doing things from the lens of a cheapskate. So I could do
Okay.
whatever it was, as long as it was from the lens of a cheapskate. And that's still like, that's basically just doing anything and doing it like in a cheap way. And that's how that's how the videos were getting such a broad audience.
What's your percentage lower than, let's say, 10 years old and between 10 and 20 and 20 plus? What do you think is your audience?
Well, YouTube Studio is obviously going to be,
Right.
you know,
It's,
because they lie
what-
about their age, use parents' devices. But
What do you think?
from what it feels like 80% is like 12 to, or 8 to 12, just from like meeting the fans. It's usually like, it's probably 80% 8 to 12.
I always wonder when you have that range of audience, how do you monetize? Because normally the RPM is lower and also lower purchasing power. So
Yes.
So how do you do it at that time?
Yeah, at the time I was mainly relying on like YouTube ad revenue.
Okay.
So around that time I started letting go of the other opportunities that I was doing.
Were you now full time? So if we look at here, so at almost 2 million, are you full time YouTuber now?
Yeah, like I would say at 1 million, I mean I could have been full time a lot. I think I technically could have been full time, like maybe at around 300K, 500K, but I didn't want to let go of the other opportunities just to be safe. So, but when I hit 1 million, that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna let go of everything else
Nice.
and just do this. So yes, that was like when I was like officially full time, but I was still also a full time student, full time YouTuber, full time
true.
student. But yeah, as far as monetization, I was relying on YouTube ad revenue, which it's been going up. At the time it was 5 cent. It was a 5 cent RPM, but now it's I believe it's 20 cents now for me, a 20 cent RPM.
It's 4 times since.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then now on top of that, you have the music deals. So I'm an ambassador with Epidemic Sounds. So
Yeah.
I get an extra bonus for using their music. And
Oh,
I use their music in
nice.
all my videos.
Now, how are you monetizing?
So before, 100% of it was ad revenue. Now only like 25% is ad revenue.
Ooh, okay. What's the
Yeah.
other 75 now?
Yeah. So another 25 is consulting. So
Okay.
basically I help other creators. It's really exciting because it's very similar to what I used to do with small businesses, except instead of being the one that goes there to like physically film and physically edit, I'm just like consulting with creators or also a lot of businesses to help them. So usually they'll like tell me like, oh, we're going to run ads. Like, can you review these scripts or tell me about my marketing strategy? And then I help them. So that is like really good for monetizing.
On the consulting side, is it more enterprise or creators that pay you for consulting?
Yeah, so I do like private one-on-one 1 hour calls, and those are mainly enterprise,
Okay.
like mainly
interesting.
businesses, but I also offer like courses or workshops here and there. Like in April 7th, I'm gonna do like a 7-day workshop where I work directly with a bunch of creators.
Nice.
And that is pretty much creators.
What are you gonna do in that program?
Yeah, so it's going to be 7 days where I walk creators step by step through every process to creating a viral video. From we're together going to come up with viral ideas, script a viral video and optimize it, come up with viral hooks for it, and then edit it. And then we'll even do a group call all together where I'll review the videos, answer questions. So I like to do those workshops here and there, tailored for creators, and it's a lot cheaper. Because my consulting calls, I charge $1,000 for an hour.
Okay.
But for this workshop, for example, the 7 days and the 1 hour group call with me is only $100.
Oh damn. All right.
So-
well, guys,
Yeah.
if you want to blow up on shorts, link here.
Link somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so consulting, AdSense.
Oh,
spons-
50% is sponsors.
50%.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. How is that dealt on your end? Is it you? Is it a agency? What's going on?
It's just me.
What? Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny because I have the email team@jennyhoyos.com.
Yeah.
And people think like, oh, like the team
has
is
it.
going to respond. No, it's funny. I have two. I have team@jennyhoyos.com and then I reply as jenny@jennyhoyos.com. So
Okay,
it's like,
okay.
it is pretty funny. Maybe one day there'll be a team. But yes, I do it myself. So right now, whenever I have free time, I'll just like do outreach.
Okay, you do the outreach.
It's crazy. I don't know why I'm doing everything. Yeah, so but for the most part, most of the brand deals come inbound, and those are the best opportunities. And a lot of the brands are like, I'm finding that right now it's apps, since a lot of apps are free or very low cost, and that's something my
And
audience can
attracts
do.
your audience, yeah.
But also, there's also opportunities where brands pay me to run ads and be like an ambassador, or like I don't even need to post a video. It's just like show that like Jenny Hoyos uses that product. Like for example, like I made a video for Opus Clip. Love Opus Clip. They're not paying me to say this right now. I'm just but yeah, I made a video for them. But then also like they ran some ads with me because it's like, oh, Jenny Hoyos uses Opus Clip. So I've done a lot of opportunities like that as well. I guess it's almost like how an athlete will use like a certain like athletic wear. It's like, oh, that's what they use.
Is it a yearly contract, monthly, or forever contract? How?
It depends. I never do in perpetuity, which is like
Okay.
forever.
Yeah, that's
Never do forever, because you don't know what's gonna. You don't know if you change your
course,
mind.
Yeah.
I like to do monthly. So usually, like when I work with companies and we're gonna do like they're gonna run ads, I do a monthly like rate to use the ad, but I tell them that rate we need to renegotiate every 3 months, because I never know like you with this job, I guess like I can just blow up overnight, and I need to change my my rate in 3 months from now.
I mean, you can clearly see it's going up by hundreds every minute.
Yeah, it's just a licensing fee, basically.
Opus Clip, for example, they came to you or you came to them?
Funny enough, my lawyer had a connection with them, and she was like, hey, like this is like in your world, and you're in their world, like let's connect you. And she ended up because she does legal work for them, but then also for me, so it just like naturally made sense.
Oh wow. You have a lawyer. Why do you need a lawyer? What does she do?
The contracts with all the brand partnerships, especially when you do it with big companies. The bigger the company, the longer the contract is. Like the first time I received a contract that was over 20 pages, I was like, okay, I need to find a lawyer.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Does outbound work for you? Because I've seen for most people it does not do much. I'm curious for you.
I literally just started like a week ago, if I'm being honest. I did outbound back when I was much smaller. Never worked. It never worked. However, I did make a video where I wanted to see how much free... when I hit 1 million subscribers, I wanted to see how much free stuff I could get as an influencer. And I got like nearly... I think it was like over $3,000 worth of items.
Oh.
So like, as far as like, if you want to get PR as an influencer... Like, I think I could have done it even with 10K or 100K. Like, you can get as much free stuff as you want. Like, probably with 100K. So, outbound works if you're trying to get free stuff. But as far as, like, a paid deal, I'm still trying to figure it out. But right now, my strategy is, like, I'm trying to collect a bunch of PR right now. So, I'm reaching out to get PR. And then from there, I want to make, like, or if it's a good product, like, make organic content or maybe, like, have it in the background. Like, for example, like, I'm not getting paid to say this, but I love Vitamix, for example. So, I'm going to include them in a video when I'm making like a smoothie or something. Mm-hmm. So then like I can send it to them and be like, hey, like I included it in the video. What do you think about like a paid partnership? Because if they send free product, it's very likely that they are like they're used to influencer marketing.
Okay.
I don't know. This is something I'm just starting out. I want to test the theory, and if it works, I would love to help other creators do it as well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of potential there for sure in your negotiation. So we've talked a lot about shorts, right? But do you mix in TikTok, Instagram as a combo? How do you deal with that with the sponsorships, or is it just one short and that's it?
Oh, I always try to throw it in like whenever I can, because it's an easy upsell.
Yeah,
it's an easy upsell. Or if a company is like oh, I'm not 100% sure, like I just throw it in. They're like, okay, like it's not something that is like because on TikTok and Instagram, like it's an extra 300K followers. So even it is like, which is substantial, but it's also like relative to the amount on YouTube, it's not that much. So it's never like really leading the offer, rather like supplementing.
What's the difference between all the vertical platforms, you would say?
Yeah, it's definitely the audience, the
Okay.
type of viewer that's on the different platforms, and that's what influences the content being different on all the platforms. So YouTube Shorts is very young, Gen Alpha, then followed by TikTok, Gen Z, and then Instagram is millennials. So you'll naturally see that in the content, where it's like YouTube's very punchy, optimized. TikTok is not actually optimized, really. It's very raw and natural, because Gen Z, like, they can smell the
Right.
yeah. And then Instagram is unironically, even though it's for millennials, you would think in the curve it just gets slower. It actually doesn't. Their content's just very like straightforward, even though it's not optimized. It's very straightforward, to the point. Like as you notice, like a lot of the videos on Instagram is like a lot of viral videos is like a small short clip of like someone doing a small task and then says, read the caption, because like that's just like that's how that audience consumes content. They just want like straight to the point, just give me the information. I don't care if it's entertaining or not.
Would you want to create more content that appeals not just to younger kids, but to millennial or Gen Z A? Yeah, all the others basically.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it, and I'm trying to see if there's a world where like what's the like the mix, like what's the word, like I'm trying to find where's the balance between creating content for kids but also can be watched by an older demographic. Something that I am trying, and I have done in a lot of videos, is incorporating my mom. So it's like maybe it's like, oh, now we're attracting both audiences, because it's like, oh, the kid watches for me, and then adults or older people could watch for my mom's point of view. So I'm still experimenting with that, but I definitely think there's a world to do that. And I think that's why like a lot of popular shows have a bunch of different characters, because you can resonate with the different characters.
Have you seen an impact on the viewership bringing your mom in and without her? Have you done like big studies around what works inside your shorts?
Yeah, whenever I have my mom, they do so much better, or even
wow.
like more characters do better. Like my most popular video in the last month was a video where I mentioned my entire family, like my mom, my dad, and my grandma. It's like people love the family dynamic, but also being able to relate to a specific person or a specific character that you're mentioning. I love strawberries, but every time I buy them, they disappear the next day. So I gotta find the culprit. And suspect number one is my mom, who loves...
Okay, and then one by one, your family members come.
Yeah. And then I say a different trait about them, and then that's like, they can resonate with a different person.
Yeah, and that crushed, no? 24 million views.
This is in less than a month.
Ooh, okay. Oh my god, look at that flat.
Yeah.
Okay, when you talked about progression, it's there.
And they want to figure out like, wait, who is this person? It makes people invested. People love suspense. It's funny, I made this video because I was like watching How I Met Your Mother, and it was like I got inspiration. I was like, oh, I want to figure out who the mother is. I want to make a video similar to that. Who ate the strawberries?
I like that you're getting inspiration outside of YouTube a lot, because when you're going over 10 million, you got to go way broad, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious, how do you think about it? Like how do you go because you're aiming for 100 mil per shorts basically, right?
Yes, I'm aiming for 100 million. Yes.
Any criterias that you're thinking to hit those 100 mil?
It needs to be very broadly appealing. And I love using the word relatable, but in a different way. So everyone thinks relatable is, oh, like they're so quirky and relatable. Like that's so funny, they're relatable. But like, just because someone's funny doesn't make them relatable. Like, because it's like, that joke's just funny to you. Maybe it's not funny to someone else. So when I think of relatable, it's like, what are things that all humans relate to? And that's why a lot of my content now is a lot of food stuff. Because that's like, everyone has to eat. That's relatable. Everyone has to eat. Almost everyone cooks. So it can be watched by anyone. That's why a lot of food, like cooking videos, food videos have a lot of views. So yeah.
That was a question for you actually. Do you do it on purpose to have a lot of food content? Because when we scroll your channel, there's a lot of food like here and there. Is it on purpose? Like,
originally it was not intentional. So it was simply because a lot of outliers just so happened to be food videos, and that's like what a lot of people resonate with.
Broadly appeal.
Like this, people, I knew this idea, like is super, like, this is actually relatable, where someone else in their family eats their food and they don't know who it was. Like, that's just, you know, a relatable human experience. So naturally, it was unintentional. But when I realized it myself, it's been intentional recently. For the last month, I have intentionally been making food videos because this sounds like such a cheap answer, but they're my highest performing videos and they also take the least amount of time to make.
Oh, okay. So it's efficient.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah, it just makes sense. But also, when you niche down, when you have like a specific niche, it's better for getting brand partnerships because brands want to know how they can be inserted into your content. So the more niche or like specific your format is, the easier for brands to say, oh, I know exactly how she's going to do it. So if, let's say, Oreos wanted to sponsor me, oh, she's going to make some sort of Oreo recipe. Like, it's just what she does.
We'll get to those recent videos. But before that, most viewed short, 173 million views. I built a secret room with $0. Let's check it out. How did you think of that video?
Like, I knew secret rooms were an outlier, but I never wanted to do it because I thought it would be cringe. Just because, like, everyone's doing the secret room stuff. But ultimately, I started doing better when I told myself, it doesn't matter if you're cringe. Like, having a YouTube channel itself is cringe. So don't. I shouldn't care about people thinking something's cringe. I mean, if you get views, that's what matters. So, I mean, that's how I knew I had to do that outlier. But I inserted the $0 element. Like, I knew if I was going to do a secret room, I had to do it in a way that's, like, unique. Because if you just copy other people's videos, it's like, well, no one's going to subscribe. No one's actually going to engage with it. Let me do it in the Jenny Hoyos way. And the Jenny Hoyos way is doing it on a budget and also incorporating a family or, like, a kid thing. So that's what I did. I had my mom yelling at me, which is, like, I guess that is relatable.
It's very relatable, yes.
Yeah. And that's how I came up with this.
Okay, smart. And let's see the hook here.
I'm building a secret room with $0. There's a whole room in here. What are you doing?
Tell us a bit more how you thought of that hook.
Yeah, so action in the video already starting. So notice how it wasn't one of those hooks where it's like, I'm about to build a secret room. Okay, now let's do it. Like, that's how almost everyone's video starts, saying what they're about to do rather than just doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew for the hook, I had to start by doing the thing. And I knew this was going to be a good hook because I saw another creator, Justin Flom, one of his most viewed videos was him literally breaking his wall exactly like this. So I knew it was an outlier hook to begin with.
Okay, super interesting. And how do you script for a video like this? Or it's more like, I'm thinking this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and go with it? Or is everything scripted word for word?
You know, what's interesting is all my videos are like pretty much, or at the time, now I don't do it anymore. All my videos now, I film it similar to this. Almost all my videos at the time were scripted or outlined and I thought about the story. This video was not. This video, I literally only knew the hook because I was starting to realize how important the hook was. So I went into it just knowing the hook, and then it's funny because after I filmed the hook, me, my mom, my dad were just like, okay, what happens next? And we were all just throwing ideas because we all we're all together always filming the videos. Like, even if the videos I'm by myself, my dad's behind the camera, my mom is behind. Like, we're all just like throwing ideas at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then like we'll just like take note of when we laugh, even in natural day-to-day things, and I'll write it down. Like, that's how we came up with this. Like, this story was outlined like that. We were just like bouncing ideas while it was happening, and then it came together in the edit.
Did pretty well. Casual 170 million views. What's your RPM now? So you said
it was 20
initially
cents.
It was 5 cents. Now it's 20 cents. Okay.
Yeah. So YouTube, you guys have been doing whatever you guys are doing. Like,
keep doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it. And that's for me being in general entertainment with a young audience. I've heard people who have like an older audience who do like serious story times like get like $1 plus because you know it's an older audience. Like, shorts RPMs are starting to do pretty good.
They're able to get $1 RPM on a 60-second shorts.
I've heard, at least.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen it on their land. I never like went into their YouTube studio, but I've heard. I wouldn't be surprised if mine is 20 cents for like 8-year-olds.
I'm also thinking, so that's for 60 seconds. Have you tested 3 minutes shorts?
No, but I believe I've done 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the RPM's the same.
I'm curious, why did you not test out those 2-3 minute shorts?
It's all about your audience and your viewer.
Ooh.
So going back to it, like, okay, so this is something I also want to mention. This is like a huge, like, I mentioned this once in a podcast and I never mentioned it again. And I feel like because I only mentioned it once, I didn't stress the importance of this, and it flew by people's heads. But all your videos should be like around the same length. Because think about it. When you're scrolling on YouTube Shorts, like naturally notice this yourself. You don't run into a video that's 5 seconds, then the next one is a minute, then the next one is 30 seconds, then the next one is 5 seconds, then the next one's a minute, because that's jarring as a viewing experience. It should be like when you're scrolling through YouTube Shorts or any short form platform, it should be consistent length. It should be, okay, a 30-second video, a 30-second video. So it's almost like emotion that just happens. So it just makes it very smooth. So because of that, you want all your videos to be a similar length, and deviating too much from what your audience is used to might not make your video push to that viewer.
Interesting. So you're aiming normally 60 seconds or 45 seconds? What's
45.
Your go-to? Okay, 45 is
yeah, I found
the sweet spot.
I found the sweet spot is around 35 to 45 seconds.
Okay, so you got that banger. We're now here and you're growing, and now 2.2 million. We see a jump of almost 1 million subs. Basically 1 million subs from one short, right?
This one. I think it's definitely this one.
Oh,
this was definitely.
okay.
13 million views, and I believe it got me at 1 million subscribers. Like, think about that. That's crazy.
How did you think of that idea?
Unfortunately, this was one of the videos that like I did like. I don't even want to use the word inspiration. I almost did copy Mark Rober.
Right.
Mark Rober did
He
a very
got, like,
similar
30
video.
million subs from that.
Yeah, I think I saw Mark Rober get a bunch of subscribers.
sense.
I hopped on the trend. I was one of the first people to hop on the trend before
I
anyone
would
else
say you
did.
remixed it. It's in your own style, basically.
Yeah, so I basically did what he did, but included my mom, and like, because that's like what my videos are known for, like the mother-daughter banter.
And that got 13 million views and led to 1 million subs, basically. That was the correlation.
Yeah,
You see that? What goes through your mind?
I need to do more. What goes through my mind is, wow, so you're telling me I spent this much time getting to 2 million, and just with one video I go from 2 to 3. Like,
That is crazy when you think about it. Because at that point, it's been like 2 years. But then in, how long was it? 1 million subs?
I'm not quite sure, but it was really quick.
Okay, yeah.
In like a month.
You
I think it was.
you saw the...
I think it was a week, because I remember I was like one of the most subbed channels on YouTube like that week or something.
And did you see an impact on viewership across everywhere? Because we do know shorts leads to a higher rate of sub conversion, right? More than long form.
Yes.
But does it lead to more viewership afterwards? Let's say you got 1 million right there in a month. Did you see a correlation to higher views?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why that is I have a big like, well, I mean everyone does. You know, you'll have your subscriber count, but you'll have an even bigger returning viewer, like amount of returning viewers. So a lot of the people that are subscribing didn't see me for the first time, and that's why they subscribed. It was probably like the 6th time that they saw me, and now that I'm mentioning like that they should subscribe, that's when they subscribe. So I already had those viewers; they just weren't subscribers. See, yeah, like there when you look there, there's 34 million returning viewers. Like right now in the last 28 days.
Oh wow!
Exactly. So those are potential subscribers that I just need to mention I need to mention that you can subscribe to those people.
So I'm assuming you definitely think you can hit 30 million subscribers, right?
Technically speaking, I should be able to hit 30 million.
If you're getting them to watch your content.
Yeah.
So then we're now at the 3 million subs part. So going to 5 million here, August 24, I think you did it again, right?
I just kept doing it.
Here, I need one more. And again, that led to...
The best one was writing the names of my subscribers.
Oh, yeah. True.
This was insane. And this was my dad's idea.
Yo, 1.3 mil.
In one short.
Why do you think this does so well? Should people do that? Like, what do you think?
It depends on your strategy. I mean, definitely do it. So, for one, this was an outlier idea that my dad actually found.
And before getting into that, let me tell you about how the 1 of 10 strategy team can help you grow your channel much faster and make more money. Our team has directly worked with over 100 YouTubers to grow their channels by optimizing their content, focusing on the right strategies. So for example, here's a video idea, title, and thumbnail that we crafted for Mike Shake that ended up getting 22 million views and being his most popular video of all time. Another example is the content strategy we built for Callaway, helping him go from 0 to 70,000 subscribers and grow a 6-figure business on top of that. And those are only just 2 of many creators the team has worked with in the past 6 years. So if you're ready to take your channel to the next level in the next 90 days with daily support, video reviews, winning ideas, titles, and thumbnails, and even 2 calls per month to answer all your questions, head over to oneof10.com/strategy to book a call.
Someone wrote the names of their, well, a lot of people have done that where they write the names of their subscribers on their cars, on their play buttons. But then I'm like, okay, let me integrate that. People obviously want to be like recognized. They want to be acknowledged by you. So this is a way to acknowledge them, but also let's combine the Mark Rober method where you need one more, because at the end of the video I told them that I was going to write the name of my, was it 4 millionth subscriber on my play button, but I never got to 4 at the end. Like I had one more left. So everyone's trying to subscribe to be the one. So on top of being acknowledged, they want to be acknowledged as the one. So yeah, that's why that crushed. I'm writing the names of every subscriber until I hit 4 million.
And what's crazy to me is that there's still 150,000 viewers every 48 hours.
Yeah.
200 days later.
So
I
I'm
guess
still
it's
getting
evergreen.
subs. Yeah.
5 million subs. What's your team like?
Yeah, so at the time, it was me and one editor who was full-time for a couple of months. But I actually decided to I started honing in on live streaming. And
that's when you started.
Yeah, that's when I started honing in on live streaming, but I didn't really need editing anymore. So like between that period, I did have an editor, but now I don't. Now I have just like freelance editors. I haven't live streamed in like a while, but yeah, I was relying on live streaming for growth. So oh my goodness, like live streaming is like if you thought shorts is good for converting like subs, like live streaming is the
Talk to
the
us.
way.
Why? So yeah, 6 months ago. Why did you start doing those live streams? What was the catalyst to it?
I saw that it was like a new feature, so that's always a great sign because YouTube's always like pushing you new features.
What do you mean new feature?
Oh, like live streaming is like within the last year. Like YouTube, vertical streaming, sorry.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I should have specified.
That's new. Okay, in the past year, before last year, you couldn't do live stream on vertical.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, so they've been like doing campaigns with influencers and me to like start live streaming. Yeah, they're pushing it.
Guys, live stream shorts.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they are pushing it. So that's always like a good thing, of course. But on top of that, I realized that short did well where people wanted me to write their names. Like they liked that. Or some people were even pausing and commenting, wait, you did write my name. Like I saw my name there. So imagine that. But if you do it live and you actually write their names, how many people are going to subscribe? And it was nuts. I think I could be wrong. I think I gained over 50,000 subscribers in like 3 hours. My most that I've ever gained, like, I think at one point, I gained like 100K in 1 hour on a live stream.
Holy shit.
Like that's crazy. Imagine if I live stream for like 10 hours. That's 1 million subscribers, you know?
I mean, you could.
Yeah, I've thought about it, honestly. I'm thinking about it. But it's good because people want to be acknowledged. That's the key thing. And that's why all my live streams, I'm acknowledging I'm saying as many names as possible. Because people want to, that's what they want.
That's a great hack. And so I guess that idea, you saw the outlier that went crazy with the shorts. So you're like, I'm going to do it live.
Exactly.
Never on an extra. Okay. And then you started doing it weekly, daily?
Yeah, I was doing weekly for a bit, but I'm not going to lie, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. It's a lot more exhausting than it seems. But I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, you gain a lot of subscribers, but also if you really want to, you can make a lot of money as well. Yeah. So like I gave away just as much as I made on, because I've done a few giveaway streams, but like I'll say like, for example, this drawing my subscribers in 3 hours, I got over $2,000 in donations.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like it's insane. So not only did I gain 100,000 subscribers, but I also monetized off of it. But again, I gave it all away. So
But
yeah.
I think the third part that's the most important is you're engaging with the community. So you're
Yes.
having a stronger presence with them, and then whatever you want to sell in the future, at least you're getting that. Because from shorts, I think it's really hard to have a strong community.
Yes.
But this with these lives, I think you're creating that community, right?
Yes, that is the goal, especially since it's vertical streams. The way they appear is on the shorts feed, so people are watching shorts. They probably watched my short and they scroll, wait, Jenny's live, and then it's like that's how they become a loyal viewer, correct? And it is a good sign if someone's donating. It's a good sign that, imagine, like, you know how crazy it is. They're donating, they're not even getting anything in return. So imagine if I was selling a product, which is why eventually I do want to do a live stream where, like, Mr. Beast has done those where he sells his merch like that. It makes sense
true.
why those do good.
That made a lot for him. So
Yeah, I think he made like $1 million in like what, like a few hours. Like, it's crazy.
I think more actually. And so for you, you could do that. You did talk about 10 hours or more. You could technically do those 24 hours live stream that Mr. Beast used to do.
Oh yeah, like I did a sleep stream. I went to sleep and gained like 80,000 subscribers.
Subscribe to wake me up. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
I went to sleep and I woke up with 80K subs.
Okay, so the first time you did it, it was just to try it out, see if it would work. It did. You saw it work. You carried on that format.
Yes, and I
to
kept
gain
doing it.
subs. Is the goal still to gain subs, or what is the goal now? And here we can see it, 6 million.
Yes,
plus.
the goal is to gain subs. Something I will say, and it is crazy because I hear a lot of the opposite. Like, when it comes to brand partnerships, everyone always says like, "Oh, brands are getting smarter. Like, they want to get views." I haven't seen brands get smarter to that point yet. Maybe that sounds mean, but I mean, like, even like right now, I'm probably getting, I think I am getting less views than I was at my peak, but brands are paying more because they see the subscriber count and they're like, oh, Jenny's name and likeness is valued so much more. So even if she gets like 10 views, it's like, it doesn't matter because it's Jenny. So like, yeah, that's why I am trying to grow my subscriber count because brands pay a lot more.
Okay, you're seeing a correlation.
Yeah.
Even if, okay, regardless of the views, if the sub count goes up, you're good.
Yeah. It depends. There's different types of campaigns, but especially since my audience isn't as monetizable, I'm finding a lot of brand partnerships I get are more of like my name affiliation, and having more subscribers helps with that.
And again, your community is growing. How many are you getting per stream? Live viewerships?
It honestly depends. It varies. If it's a stream where like it's like me, like I'm not like, I don't have it planned out. Like I'm just kind of chilling with my viewers. It's like 200,000 views, but when I plan it out, 1 million.
No, I meant
Concurrent?
Concurrent viewer. Yeah.
Oh, concurrent. So yeah, if I'm just like chilling and just talking to them, it's 1,000 concurrent.
Oh,
But
wow.
at my peak, I've had, I believe like 11,000 is my most, or maybe 12,000 was our most concurrent, which is, it's actually crazy to me. How do you have that many concurrent?
Even the biggest streamers don't have that. Some of them
Really?
are stuck at like 5K, 10K, 11K is actually insane.
I know, it's like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, like that many. It is crazy. How can that many people be watching live? It is crazy to me.
Are you streaming also on TikTok at the same time, or you're only on Shorts?
Only on shorts.
Okay.
I have a great relationship with the YouTube live streaming team,
Right.
so I got to be loyal to YouTube.
Oh wow, that's super interesting. Could you see yourself doing more Shorts live stream than Shorts content?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe. Maybe. I have considered, not because it's gonna be my main thing, but because it's so much easier to do. Like I can't do, like, doing daily shorts is a lot harder than going live every day for like an hour or even like 10 minutes. Like, it's just a lot easier. So probably eventually I will just have more live streams.
I feel there's a lot of wins here. Stronger community, bigger conversion, less time, more time efficient, and
It just
and
makes
YouTube, I guess,
sense.
is pushing that since it's a new feature in the past year.
No, it's great, but I will say live streaming, and I think a lot of streamers talk about this, doesn't necessarily grow your audience. You're not going to find new viewers.
True.
This
true,
is
true.
You need to already have an audience.
Yeah,
for this.
discoverability for streaming is really hard, but that's when your shorts content brings in those new viewers, and then you bring them to live. Interesting. And then that's to live, but now how's to long form? Because I saw you stop 6 months ago, basically posting on long forms. Talk to us about that. Why did you stop?
I like making long form videos, but I genuinely prefer making short form videos. I've always just like naturally gravitated towards shorter videos. But the reason I like fully like just quit it altogether is honestly a monetization move. I'm seeing that a lot of brands are starting to pay like short or trying to pay for ads on shorts simply because I think that is the best way to promote a product. I mean, for the longest time, if we look at like even traditional media, commercials have always been like 30 seconds. And would like it just makes sense to it depends on the creator, but it makes sense to make a short where the whole thing is an ad versus like a long form video, which is like irrelevant content, and then I mean like just like general content, and in the middle is like a 30-second integration that people don't actually want to watch, and even the creators make it like so that like it's like no one actually wants to watch it versus the short. It's just an ad. It is what it is. Like, and then they can run ads on it too. It's convenient for them.
True. They can then use that and repurpose on their end.
It's much easier to repurpose.
And versus, they can put it on all their platforms as well.
Exactly. Like it's much easier to repurpose than in a long form video. You know how creators, it makes sense for retention tactics. They'll like show something that's happening, then they'll talk about the product, then they'll show something. But then it's like, that doesn't work for an ad. They can't run ads with that.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing the power of shorts. I always thought shorts could be a waste of time for someone wanting to go long form. But now with shorts that's been growing in the past few years, you can definitely go full time. You can make a lot of money, and also you can get repurposed on everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, shorts.
But definitely for a monetization move, I think shorts is better. However, I am interested in kind of similar to what I mentioned, how shorts, you can do like a full 30-second, like the whole short could just be an ad. I would love to do the same thing for a long form, and I'm sure the pay would be a lot better. I would definitely be interested in that because like even like you know, if Kevin Hart like has long form like 10-minute like interviews that are sponsored by Icy Hot, for example. Yeah. So it's like the whole thing is a sponsorship. So it's like product integration throughout the entire thing, and it, like that makes more sense. I'm for like I love brand integrations, but like I'm for making it make more sense for the brand than it makes sense for me. But it also makes sense for the audience. It needs to make more sense for the audience and the brand than it does for me.
And we are now basically from 6 million to 8.3 million, right? So in the past 6 months, let's see what's been happening. It's a live stream. That's been a big focus.
Oh, these are,
Like how many shorts are you posting every week?
I'm posting about 3 shorts a week.
Okay, you're still posting 3 a week while going live stream once a week. You went to the NFL.
Yeah, that was sick.
Did that partnership happen?
Yeah, so I also went to the Olympics, which is crazy, and they both happened the same way. They both happened the same way, which is why I mentioned that. I love YouTube so much. Okay, so a lot of times these big companies, they want to work with influencers or creators. They don't know who to trust, so they'll reach out to companies like YouTube who already have these connections. Yeah. So actually, it was they reached out to YouTube. They told YouTube, hey, can you find creators who are trustworthy and could do well for our campaign? And YouTube, knowing that I'm just a good brand partner, just connected me with them. And there's a couple of opportunities, such as the Olympics, like where YouTube just like is the middleman. And I think that's going to be huge. That's why it's very important to build a good relationship with like. That's why when you asked about like live streaming on TikTok, it's like, oh, I'm
you're all dedicated.
I'm all
in
on
YouTube basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. How did you create that relationship with YouTube?
Yeah, so just going to the events, talking to as many employees, being nice, but even offering like to help out. Like I offer to give like feedback like whenever they need it, like just for completely like free, or whenever I have any insights or like changes or like that sounds bad, like, but like whenever I see something like in the analytics, I'm like, it would be cool if we had this or other things. Like I'm just always reaching out. I'm just always trying to be involved. Like YouTube is not just a place where I post. It's also like we're in this together. We're all like, I am part of YouTube. At least I don't know. That's how
I feel
I
you.
see
I'm all in YouTube, so I get you.
I love YouTube. Yeah.
Now we're at the present.
Yes.
What is the full team now?
Yeah. So it's primarily me,
Okay.
and then my mom is in a lot of the videos.
Yeah.
So she's always helping out, also in the background and helping clean and set up things. And my dad's there as well while we're filming. He's in charge of the camera, bouncing back ideas.
So mom and dad producers. And
Basically, that's what I guess that's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah, I'm the creator. They're the producers, and then I have 2 like freelance editors who
Okay.
like they're great. Like it's interesting because for the longest time I never thought like I thought finding an editor was like impossible. I feel like everyone always says this, thought it was impossible. And I thought it was even more impossible to do it, to hire editors from another country, because I thought maybe they don't understand the jokes, or maybe it's like English isn't their first language. And I found having an editor, like editors in different countries, is better in so many ways than in the US. Not only is it cheaper, but it's unironic how like them English being their second language makes the edits actually better, because they'll cut out jokes that just make no sense or things that are confusing, and they'll make it so that it actually makes sense, and they'll edit it so that it's easier to follow. So I wanted to mention this because I feel like a lot of people tend to say like, oh, I can never work with someone who doesn't, English isn't their first language. No, that's like, you should actually like work.
Which makes it more appealing broadly, basically.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's basically the team.
Got it. And you take care of all the sponsorship. You've got a lawyer to go over stuff. And
Forgot to mention that. But yes, I also have an accountant, if that counts, I guess.
I guess, yeah. But more the admin side. But content creation, that's pretty much you 3. Actually, what does your week look like?
Yeah, so now that I started making these cooking videos, my week has been a lot like easier. Before, it used to be like I used to spend a whole day filming one video, like one short. But now my week usually looks like I play a lot of pickleball. So like,
oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
so my week usually looks like me playing pickleball, me cooking, eating, honestly like watching a lot of traditional media as well. To get a lot of ideas, but also because I want to get into like acting, and also like also writing. I just love traditional. So it's been a lot of that. Okay. But like as far as content creation, it's usually like one day in the week I'll batch film like 5 videos,
wow. Okay.
and then I'll send it to the editors.
So you're good for 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah. So it sounds funny. Recently, like since I made this pivot, like the last 2 weeks, I've had a lot of free time. So
since the pivot to live stream, you mean, or to
everything, like to live streaming and the cooking, I've had and with this free time now, I'm trying to get into other ventures. So that's why I'm launching my new program, because now I have time. So I have time to help more creators, and then from there I do, and that's why I've been doing outbound recently as well. So now that I've basically, in other words, I've automated content in a way. Like I can film 5 shorts in one day. Like what am I going to do with the rest 6 days of the week, right? And with that time, I'm just trying to find other ventures to monetize.
You talked earlier about pivoting content to these food style ideas. Tell us more about it. Why are you doing this type of content, basically? Food
is just relatable and human nature. They're easy to make, but also the most important thing is I naturally found myself getting more excited about food videos. Like I would have a list of ideas, and it's funny because this is what my ideation used to look like 6 months ago. I'd see my list of ideas, and then I would be like, oh, these are my favorites. And then let's say it's like 10, I pick out like my 3 favorites, and I notice, oh wait, these are all food videos. Okay, now let me pick out mid ideas just to put in between, so that it doesn't look like I'm a food content creator, because I don't want to be in a niche. I don't want to be a food content creator. And then it's like, what's the point? Because then those videos would just flop, and then the food ones would do well anyway. Like it makes no sense why I was doing that for the longest time. So I just decided it's what I like to make, and it's also what's working. So
okay. It's time efficient, it works, you get the views, and you can focus on the live stream the rest of the time.
Yeah, and it's always best it's easier to monetize when you're in a niche. Always easier to monetize in a niche.
And what do you think is the main focus for the next year?
Yeah, for the next year, getting as many brand partnerships as possible.
Okay.
Like, and it's not even just like getting the quick cash. I want to establish like
long-term
relationships with brands. Like, oh my goodness, I loved working with the NFL, for example. Like I would love to continue like going to more games, creating more content, and throughout the year be doing that and have like my small handful of brands. Like one of my, like now that I'm doing food videos, like one of my dreams would be to, for example, be sponsored by Publix, and then which is like a, what is it, like a Southeast thing? I don't know, but it's in Florida. It's like a Florida thing anyway.
Okay.
And it would be cool where it's like similar to athletes. Let's say they pay me something annually, and I only use their products on the videos. Like that would be crazy. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. The goal is to monetize. I mean, I've always been business finance first, so now I kind of want to go back to that. Like, start going into ventures and figure out how to build a $100 million business.
That's what I'm curious about, because you are reaching a great audience that, yeah, it's not monetizable now, but maybe in the next 5 years as you're building that community, 8 to 12 becomes 15, 18,
Yes.
whatever. And I mean, Mr. Beast has that audience as well, but was able to capture them with chocolate, burger, and soon games. How are you thinking about creator-led business for that type of audience?
Yeah, I'm thinking of it very differently, actually. So I've thought about doing a creator product, but Mr. Beast has said this in a podcast before. It's very true. It's so expensive to do, and it's like, and then the profit margins aren't that great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the profit margins on Feastables? Like what, like 20-30%? Like probably something around there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
Probably
probably
less,
yeah,
but
probably yeah. And that's probably being like nice versus partnering with brands or already established brands such as like Publix, which it makes sense because even though kids aren't the ones like buying the groceries, they'll tell their parents, oh wait, no, we should go to Publix. Like that's gonna be so much, like it's so much fun. They have this and that, like, and they can still influence that. And I think it just depends on the brands. Like also another brand I would love to work with is Disney. So a lot of kids are starting to watch YouTube and not watch like things like Disney anymore. Mm-hmm. And like there's a collaboration there because that's an easy thing for kids to say, oh, let's go to the movies or let's get Disney Plus. It's a lower to barrier entry.
You'd prefer to not collaborate, but to partner up with businesses more than to create out from scratch. I think that's smart.
Yeah, but the goal is to have big businesses and have like a long-term relationship. Yeah. I would love to, like, oh my goodness, you know, it'd be so cool. I would love to be like, you know how there's Jake from Steak Farm or there's like Flo, what's it called? Progressive. Like I would love to be like Jenny for something.
Ooh,
like I would love to do that. And I think it sounds crazy because you would think like starting a product would probably be more monetizable and maybe long term, but it's like it's so much more work, it's so much more money. Work smarter, not harder.
Smart. I remember I think 3 years ago at Creator Now, you were saying that you wanted to beat Graham Stephan in subscriber count, which you've done. But back then you were more in the finance world.
Yes.
What is the next goal now? 100 mil? What is it?
Yeah, so my next goal for subscribers is 10 million. Then when I get to 10 million, no more subscriber goal. There's no, like, Ooh. That is the goal,
okay.
10 million.
Okay.
Right now, my number one priority is to get to 10 million subscribers, like, honestly. Mm-hmm. And when I get there, my number one priority from there is just to build a $100 million business or brand, personal brand.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that's the goal. And I'm still figuring it out because maybe it's maybe I just go into consulting, like maybe because I also like don't want to slowly die out. It's like maybe should I like end off at a high, like be like, oh wait, where did Jenny go?
Well,
like,
I feel the consulting side is good for now. It's gonna bring great revenue, but I do feel with that audience, you're getting 100 million views per month. Plus with the live stream, that community is gonna grow. I definitely think there's a creator product you can find at some point, maybe in the food world or whatever, that I think would make sense. that no one has thought of yet.
Yeah.
But with
Or
time,
probably
I think
even-
it'll come.
Yeah,
but-
or probably even partner like look what Ryan Trahan did with Joyride was genius,
Yeah,
for example.
yeah,
It was an
exactly.
established business. He didn't have to like
start from scratch.
start from scratch.
basically.
Yeah. They just partnered, did an equity split like that too.
That is
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I think
It's
that,
just that's
that works. Yeah.
smart way.
Like even Federer with Roger Federer in the tennis world, he made more money by partnering up with like that shoe company.
Mm.
He owns 3% of it, and that 3% brought him hundreds of millions of dollars,
Exactly.
which was more than all his prize money pool stuff.
Of course. And why would he create his own shoe brand?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But getting that equity split
Yeah.
is what works.
It's like I think there's like an Alex Hormozy like quote. It might be Alex Hormozy. It's like, would you rather have 100% of a $1,000 business or 1% of a $1 billion business? I don't remember the exact quote, but like when you think of it that way, it's like, well, yeah, like do the numbers.
I think you're on the right path. It's gonna go well.
Yes, $100 million business is the goal. It's the
Yes.
long-term Jenny Hoyos goal before I die.
Let's go.
Yes.
And from that, 10 million subs is next, right? What is your main advice to the people who want to grow from zero?
There's so much. The number one piece of advice that I have is the blue ocean strategy. It would take quite a bit of time for me to explain the whole thing, but there's like a Harvard video on YouTube. There's like you will find it. Just search up blue ocean strategy Harvard on YouTube and watch it. Basically, it's about creating your own niche, and that makes you stand out in a market full of competitors, basically. So, if you're starting on YouTube, there's so many people making videos, and a lot of people are making the same videos. So your videos need to be different. They need to stand out. So you need to create your own blue ocean, be your own thing, make your own niche, make your own content format and style. And it's going to take time, but if you do that, you're more likely to blow up.
Okay, nice. Great advice. Another question is, if a person is hard stuck on shorts, posting, what do you recommend them to do to improve?
Like their videos are all getting the same views?
Yeah, like 100 views, let's say.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different factors, but I would say don't change your niche unless you want to change niches. Target the same audience, because sometimes, you could have great videos, but they all target a different audience. So YouTube's like, okay, but who am I supposed to send this out to? Like, make sure that your video appeals to the same viewer. I would say to do that. You need to make at least 20 videos, maybe even 100 videos, like before you even like consider this is I need to do something else. But yeah, so I would say make sure you're making the videos for the same viewer, but then look at your retention, look at your view versus swipe weight, which is how good your hooks are, and slowly optimize based on that.
These are my last two questions. We're going to go back to your beginnings in the finance niche. Imagine YouTubers as a stock, right? Mr. Beast is a blue stock, blue
Yes.
chip. Who would be a YouTuber you would invest right now that you think would grow?
Ooh, that's a good question. What YouTuber would I invest in? I see. I want to invest in myself, but I feel like that's
You
such
cannot say yourself.
I know that's like a cheat answer. All that comes to my head are like people who have already made it, which makes it
That's
so
fine.
tough.
We've had those answers.
I'm gonna go with Michelle Khare.
Okay.
I would
yeah,
invest in
yeah.
Michelle Khare.
She's well established, but she still has huge growth coming for sure. Yeah.
I think I can see her getting into the world of traditional media, just like considering like how high. You know who to invest in? Actually, I changed my answer.
Okay.
I know who I'd invest in.
Who?
Tejas. I'd invest in Tejas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's been blowing up.
Yeah, but he's still underground.
Yeah.
But not underground.
He's very
but
niche.
like yeah.
Well, yeah, niche, but yeah, I'd
No,
say
because
niche.
no. That's a great answer because he has high quality videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we already know. Like no explanation needed.
No, it's been interesting to see him grow. Like he would mainly do shorts, but then would post those long form, but would not get that many views. But now he's getting like hundreds of thousands on them.
Yeah,
So,
his
but
stock is going up a lot.
Consistency, that is
Yes.
key. And final question is, what's your dream for the next let's say 30 years.
The big dream is to have a $100 million business.
Yes.
I want to be financially free, but I will still continue to work. I want to make that much, but not just to have that money. The goal would be to make that doing something I love, and something that I'm really passionate about is creating branded content. I find myself spending more time, putting more effort, getting more excited when I have sponsored shorts, because they're harder to make. And I'm like the girl that can make anything go viral. So I get excitement when I have to make something viral when it's hard to make it viral. So that would be the dream, to get a $100 million business, making viral content for brands, even when it seems impossible.
I think you're going to get it. You're on the right path. You got 100 million viewers per month, and I think that's growing as well. You've got the live going. So yeah, congrats on everything, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
this
again.
is great.
Thanks again for coming on the podcast. And guys, link below for the boot camp that's starting in April. So book now.